This is CTV News with Michelle Brunoro.
Once this has been altered, it's gone forever.
Debate over Cable Bay, concerns over an application to turn forested land into an industrial site also.
Just extremely rewarding to be acknowledged as an emerging location because it represents decades of hard work and momentum.
Famous scenery, why the South Island is being recognized on the international stage for its role in film. Plus, Adam finds out the connection between boots planted with flowers and a film festival created from cans later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening and thank you for joining us. An environmental fight in the Nanaimo area as 72 hectares of trail and forest land has the potential to turn into an industrial site. The Cable Bay area is popular with hikers, and now locals are trying to get as much public support against a proposed development plan. As CTV's Andy Garland reports, a Hollywood star is also adding their name to the list of opposition voices.
The Cable Bay Trail in the south end of Nanaimo winds through a majestic forest ending up along the ocean.
Beautiful setting to walk in and enjoy nature.
This is the only place where you can come and see orcas from land.
But there's growing concern from the Save Cable Bay community, who are trying to protect the trail and surrounding forest from a proposed development that can run alongside its western edge and would have an average 100-meter buffer from the trail.
Proposing to clear cut almost 7,400 trees and pave over it.
Once this has been altered, it's gone forever.
Nanaimo Forest Products, or Harmac Pacific, is trying to rezone 74 hectares of land, turning it into a heavy industrial park.
Slated to become industrial because of its proximity to the existing Duke Point industrial site.
The proposal is going to the public hearing stage tomorrow.
We need everyone's voice here to talk about the value of forests like this for future generations.
Several have submitted letters to the city voicing their concern, including a 5-page letter from the Sinamic First Nation, and state any rezoning process that proceeds without meaningful engagement with Sinamic will cause unnecessary conflict and challenges that are best avoided.
I would hope, since the nation has spoken up, that they will at least defer it.
There aren't a lot of places like this on Vancouver Island.
Save Cable Bay is also getting support from conservation group Pacific Wild that produced this video featuring Walking Dead and Prison Break star Sarah Wayne Callies, who tells CTV News she's called Vancouver Island home for the past 20 years and has visited this place at least 100 times.
And right now, we kind of need to think about protecting this space.
This place truly should be protected. It has so many endangered ecosystem types.
The mayor expects a large contingent of speakers at the public hearing, and the process could take days. Andy Garland, CTV News, Nanaimo.
Women are leading the way on a new purpose-built housing project in downtown Victoria.
1, 2, 3.
A groundbreaking took place today for the Alma building on Broughton Street in the Fort Common neighborhood. It's replacing a surface parking lot with 42 one-bedroom units with live-work space at the ground level. The building is the work of the Bradbury Sisters of Fort Properties, who named the building after their grandmother Alma. The developers say the building pays respect to the women who came before them, who once didn't have the right to vote or hold a credit card in their name.
Men, there's a lot of recognition for the work they do in the community. They tend to be more front-facing, but I think that it's time for women to step up and take their place as decision makers and builders of our community in a sense that is more visible than our grandmothers had access to.
The rental homes are expected to be complete by the fall of 2027. Southern Vancouver Island is a top contender on a competitive international stage for a Global Film Award. The region, which includes everything south of Ladysmith, is nominated for Emerging Location at the Global Production Awards, which celebrate excellence in film. We're up against Texas, Spain, and Slovakia. The winner will be announced next month in France during the Cannes Film Festival. The South Island Film Commissioner says a good filming location goes beyond beauty, which the island has in spades. She says having infrastructure, crew, and support from municipalities is essential.
The motion picture industry is highly competitive and it's globally competitive. So it's just extremely rewarding to be acknowledged as an emerging location because it represents decades of hard work and momentum. And so being invited to the Global Production Awards just lets us know that we're on the right track. And it also allows us to open up new pathways and new conversations and potentially new partnerships.
The South Island Film Commissioner says last year was a good one with 25 projects shot in the region. She says so far this year, the South Island has serviced 6 film projects, and it's looking like summer will be busy. Well, now to the second part of our series on the Vancouver Island humanitarian mission to Ukraine. CTV's Brendan Strain went along with the team and gives us a glimpse of what it is like inside a country that has been fighting a war for more than 4 years. Tonight, Brendan focuses on the loss of life on the front lines and introduces us to a father's story of survival after being trapped behind enemy lines.
February 24th, 2022, Russian tanks roll into eastern Ukraine. The full-scale invasion begins. In the west of the country, Mikhailo Rohiv was at home with his family, watching the unthinkable unfold on television. He says that's when he knew he had to pick up a rifle.
I joined the army on the first day of the war. I went to the military recruitment center to fulfill my duty as a Ukrainian.
Soon the husband and father found himself saying an uncertain goodbye to his family, heading towards the front lines of the war.
You should avoid war at all costs, but if you have to fight, you have to fight for your own principles and stand your ground.
Rohiv spent the next 4 years defending his country, working his way up to become the commander of his unit of 25 soldiers. Then in early November of last year, his outfit found itself pinned down, surrounded by the Russian army in the Zaporizhzhia region.
For 2 weeks, we didn't have food, and for several days, we did not have water.
Finally, the order was given from upper command for his platoon to fall back into a new position.
We relocated to this new position, but because we didn't have enough information or any good reports, nothing looked off to us.
What Rohiv and his men didn't know was the company had been moved straight into an area of advancing Russian troops.
The firing opened up on us, and my whole unit died.
Rohiv was shot in his left leg, finding himself alone, fighting for his life.
Then there was this hunt that opened for me, involving drones, because they realized I was the only one left.
He says somehow, by the grace of God, he managed to escape the Russian pursuit, making it out alive.
God saved me, and I was the only one that survived.
Rohiv has been recovering from his injuries, reunited with his family once again in the west of Ukraine. Although last Tuesday, the soldier returned to the front. When asked why he was choosing to go back, he says the answer is simple.
I just have my own things that I need to finish, as this war isn't over yet.
Rohiv says when the sovereignty of his country is at stake, the only option is to keep fighting. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Western Ukraine.
And in Brendan's final installment, he takes a deep dive into the impact 4 long years of war is having on families, community leaders, and the children of Ukraine. That's Vancouver Island Supports Ukraine Part 3. You can watch that tomorrow on YouTube, TikTok, Crave, and right here on CTV2 News. The First Nations Health Authority is outlining how 10 years of BC's toxic drug crisis has impacted communities.
Since the public health emergency was declared in 2016, more than 2,836 First Nations people have died. The magnitude of these deaths is overwhelming. It is not uncommon for First Nations people to have experienced multiple losses.
Emotions were high as the First Nations Health Authority provided an update today on the toll of BC's toxic drug crisis. That number represents nearly 16% of the overall death toll, according to the latest BC Coroner's data. Gas stations are now being targeted in the capital region. Victoria police say they are looking for a man who allegedly robbed a couple of fuel stops with a gun. It all kicked off around 9:15 on the night of April 6th. A man walks into a gas station in the 3000 block of Shelburne Street, points a gun at the clerk and demands cash. It happened again half an hour later. A man with a gun demanding cash at a fuel dispensary in the 1900 block of Oak Bay Avenue. Police releasing a couple images today of who they are looking for. Anyone with information is asked to drop a dime and call it in. Well, seasonal water restrictions are going into effect for many Vancouver Island communities in about 2 weeks to ensure the island has enough water for drinking and wildfire suppression. May 1st marks the beginning of Stage 1 restrictions for several areas, including the Comox Valley, Cowichan Valley, and Capital Regional Districts. Stage 1 restrictions often mean lawn and garden sprinkling or watering are only allowed on designated days outside of the peak sunshine hours. On May 1st, Stage 2 restrictions kick in for Nanaimo, leaving power washing, pool filling, and vehicle washing to designated days. The restrictions vary slightly by area, so check your regional district's website to confirm the rules for your neck of the woods.
7 degrees in Victoria right now after a high of 9. It's actually back-to-back days with 9 degrees as a daytime high. Should get back into double digits for tomorrow and the rest of the week. All those details right after the break.
And Josh joins us now with a look at weather. I woke up to sunshine today, but you had snow in behind you.
Yeah, this is from the Virgin Radio tower site up at the Malahat Summit. Our engineers sent in this video. Snow coming down up there. It actually looks like, if you look at the ground, looks more like snow pellets than full-on snow. But there was a little bit of snow up at higher elevations. Most areas across the island. Seeing rain, though. Had some scattered showers in Victoria. Might see a bit more before the evening is done. It's 7 in Victoria right now after that high of 9. A little warmer in Comox. A little breezier as well, but 11 degrees currently. There's your higher elevation snow. There's some rain out along the west coast. And you can see off to the northwest, there are some more showers that will likely roll through the Victoria area through the evening, I think by mid to late evening. That's all out of here. Skies will clear. We'll get a fair amount of sunshine tomorrow morning, maybe a few clouds popping up in the afternoon. And then, you might see some hit and miss showers over some inland areas and out along the west coast. Friday morning, clouds start to increase. It looks like a mostly cloudy day for much of the island on Friday. Certainly that'll be the case in the north. Slight chance of a scattered shower tomorrow. 1 in the morning. Cool start to the day, but up to about 12 in the afternoon. Weekend looks decent. Chance of some scattered showers for Saturday, and then mostly cloudy and 15 on Sunday. Nice and warm into early next week as well. 13 for inland areas, partly cloudy skies tomorrow, and then 12 and mostly cloudy for Friday. Chance of some rain Saturday night and through the day Sunday, but 19, maybe even 20 for a high on Sunday. Out of the west coast, 11 degrees and mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies tomorrow. Chance of a scattered shower Friday. Weekend, 12 and 15 for daytime highs. Most of Saturday looks dry, but Saturday night and through Sunday, get some rain set to push through. And that looks like, especially around Tofino, it's going to be fairly steady. Comox, partly cloudy for the next 2 days. 13s, that's right on par with average. 13 again Saturday. You do have rain potentially on Sunday, but things really warming up. 17 and 18 for daytime highs Sunday, Monday. That's a trend we're going to see right across the island into early next week. Nanaimo, mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies. 12 degrees tomorrow. 13s for Friday, Saturday. Chance of some evening showers on Saturday, but I think you're dry on Sunday. Just mostly cloudy skies and highs near 18, high teens, Sunday and Monday. And Victoria as well, we'll get to about 17 or 18 degrees by Sunday, Monday. Tomorrow, back to double digits. We mentioned right before the break, back-to-back days where we had daytime highs in single digits, 9 degrees for daytime highs, 12 though by tomorrow. Sunshine through the day, a little gusty, gusts to about 40 or 50 kilometers per hour late afternoon and into the evening. 13 on Friday, and then for the weekend, dry except for a slight chance of a shower on Saturday towards the late afternoon or early evening hours, but temperatures a couple of degrees above average, Michelle, as we head through the weekend. 14 and 17 for daytime highs, Saturday and Sunday.
Wow, 17, pushing up to 18 some of those places. That's pretty warm. All right, well, looking forward to the weekend. Thanks for that. Well, 2 Royal Canadian Navy members are facing multiple service charges following an investigation into the death of a petty officer with the military. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth is in Halifax, near where the incident took place last year.
For generations, this has been a major military port. The Navy has sailed out of these waters in times of war and peace. Now it's the backdrop for an investigation into the death of Petty Officer Second Class Gregory Applin, who died in Halifax in January of 2025. The Navy says Applin died as a result of an incident during small boat operations in Bedford Basin, which is a body of water attached to Halifax Harbor. Following the death of Applin last year, the Canadian Fleet Atlantic commander described how a vessel called a rib overturned in the basin.
As the rib was en route back to dockyard, an incident occurred which caused the rib to capsize, throwing both sailors into the water.
And now charges have been laid. Master Sailor David Terry has been charged with criminal negligence causing bodily harm and negligent performance of military duties. Sailor First Class Alexandra Garrison faces the same charge, along with dangerous operation of a conveyance, which is a vehicle causing death. In a statement, the Navy said those accused deserve every opportunity to defend themselves. Applin was a weapons engineering technician who joined the Navy in 2005. He was 38. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
For millions of Canadians, coming into contact with tree nuts or being stung by a bee can mean a trip to the emergency room. Many carry around life-saving medication that is injected by needle. Now Health Canada has approved a nasal spray experts say is a welcome new option. CTV's Andrew Johnson reports.
In the words of one doctor we spoke with today, this is a game changer for Canadians with severe allergies and for the parents of children who have to carry around an EpiPen.
This is the ability to have a life-saving device available on you that's easy to administer, almost challenging to get it wrong.
Neffy replaces the needle you jab into your thigh with a nasal spray that has a 2.5-year shelf life. The spray is now approved by Health Canada to treat anaphylaxis, the severe reaction millions of Canadians deal with because of allergies to things like peanuts, shellfish, bee stings, or insect bites. When someone goes into anaphylaxis, they may have trouble breathing, their throat or tongue can swell, and their blood pressure can plunge. These allergies may be life-threatening, so it's critical to have medication nearby. One doctor says having this new option is huge.
Carrying a needle-based epinephrine or having this as the only route of delivery causes barriers for people that, 1, don't like needles, 2, don't want to use the needle, or 3, don't want to carry the size that is required for a needle-based device.
The spray should start to appear in pharmacies by summer. Right now, it's only approved for children who weigh more than 30 kilograms, or about 65 pounds. The manufacturer says it will apply for a smaller dose to be approved for smaller kids later this year. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Coming up, blooming boots. Adam finds out the unexpected connection between a pair of cowboy boots and a bicycle polo player. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
And finally, when Adam's random search for a story led to a pair of boots in a window, he met a man with a passion for making discarded things useful again on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Although it is unusual to see boots outside a bedroom window that were once blooming,
marigolds and cowboy boots.
Chris Poland says he regularly repurposes things like this while riding around finding things others have left behind.
I stumbled upon this bag with a free sign, and it had an old camera in it.
A video camera, likely discarded because its technology is so outdated.
But I didn't really know about it, so I left it in a box for like 2 years.
In the meantime, Chris started playing competitive bicycle polo.
Kind of like hockey on bikes.
But instead of skates, a stick, and puck, you ride around trying to hit a ball into a net with a mallet.
Not many people do ski poles.
But then again, not many people are like Chris, who turned these old ski poles he found into polo mallets before cutting orange construction fencing into the wheel guards you need to protect your bike spokes from being bent.
Now I can't go back because the orange is so good.
And it turns out Chris is so good at the sport, he plays all over the place, and was recently invited to compete in Whitehorse.
So I have a friend who happens to be throwing a film festival in Whitehorse.
A friend who also looks for the unexpected possibilities of things and spent months collecting thousands of aluminum cans so he could buy a projector to play the movies.
He called it the Cannes Film Festival, which is pretty nice.
As opposed to con.
Yeah.
So Chris taught himself how to use that old camera, shot this short comedy despite never making a movie before, and was inspired to see how recycling cans could end up cultivating community.
During the winter, to bring people together when it's cold and people need connection up there.
So now that he's back home, Chris will keep searching for things that he can make useful again in unexpected ways.
It's really nice to be able to take the time to do something special and make people laugh and smile.
Which is why Chris is planning to replant those marigolds, because although these boots were made for walking, he knows that's not just all they'll do. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by Coastal Community Credit Union. Bank happy at Coastal Community Credit Union.
I hadn't even heard of bicycle polo. All right, that is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you for joining us. Take care of yourself.